Hello, this is Daryl with BUGCO Pest Control, and today we're going to be covering a common question, and that is, do I have termites? So in regards to this, there are a variety of factors. We would want to come out, we'd want to do an inspection and determine, one, yes or no, do you have them? And two, if so, what type are they? Three of the common types of termites in our area are Drywood termites, Formosan termites, and Subterranean termites. But today we're going to be covering Drywood and Subterranean, as those are the two of the most common. Formosan we will see from time to time, but the reason we're going to cover Drywood termites and Subterranean termites today is they are very different. Subterranean termites, it is what it sounds like. They come up from the ground, they can build a colony in the base of your home, and then from time to time, depending on whether or not there's a water source, the entire colony may vacate your house and go back through the tubes that they've built. It's not an infestation where they're going to stay there 24/7, 365 days of the year. They may go back into the ground, they may find another water source, and then at a later date, maybe it's a month, maybe it's just a few weeks later, the whole colony will come back up into the house. All termites have something known as swarmers, and that's during spring and summer. You may see what you think are ants flying around, when in actuality they are termites. And what they end up doing is they'll fly from one residence or tree or somewhere else they've infested, and they'll fly over, they land places up high on the roof or the eaves. They'll find a good location in the attic or somewhere that's really nice and dry. Whereas the subterranean termites like the water and they like everything down low. Drywood termites are quite literally that. They like the dry wood. So they go up high, they'll start nesting there, and their colonies do not, however, like the subterraneans, vacate the premise, for lack of better words, then come back. These drywood termites, once they're there to stay, and then on a yearly basis, the termite swarmers, they'll do the exact same thing that got them there in the first place. So the drywood termite swarmers, from year to year, they will go branch out, go look for new residences or structures, trees to start new colonies in. There are different treatment methods for both drywood termites as well as subterranean termites. We'll go ahead and cover subterranean termites first. With subterranean termites, you're going to be treating the soil. So the chemicals that we use basically act as a virus. The chemical that we use for subterranean termite treatments is safe for animal and pets, so long as utilized with the standards on the label. So depending on the structure, if you have a solid slab foundation, the treatment methods for subterranean termites is to do what's known as a soil injection. So what we do is we're going to be treating the soil that the subterranean termites are going to be passing through. Now this chemical is safe for animals as well as children, so long as utilized with the standards or the guidelines as per the label. We may have to trench around the foundation. It's going to be a 4-inch wide by 4-inch deep trench. So we will be applying a termiticide via trenching or rodding, meaning that we're going to be injecting the soil with this termiticide, allowing the termites to pass through it. Once they do, they actually transfer the chemical from one to another, much like a virus. And the colony collapse or the colony decay can take up to 45 days to 3 months, depending on the efficacy of the treatment. So depending on whether or not you have, say for instance, a French drain or bull rock on the exterior of the home along the foundation, or whether or not it's just soil, we will apply the chemical in different fashions. So we can use a long skinny rod and inject the soil, or we can go ahead and trench out a 4-inch wide by 4-inch tall portion of the soil, in which we'll fill up that channel with a termiticide. Once it does that, once it's filled up, it'll bleed into the soil where it'll stay for anywhere between 8 to 10 years. So it does have a very long-lasting residual effect. Now, that does not mean that under harsh environmental conditions such as flooding or heavy rains, or if you cover or disturb that soil, that will affect the ability for it to maintain its integrity over time. So you do want to be careful and have routine inspections just to determine whether or not the integrity of that chemical or whether or not there's been a reinfestation. So with subterranean termites, you're going to want to treat the perimeter of the foundation of the home. With drywood termites, you're going to be finding the colony up high in the attic voids or along the frames between the sheetrock and the walls. What we're going to do is we could apply a different treatment than we would normally do for drywood termites, which is a dry powder, or we also use a foaming agent. Both are termiticides, it's just different delivery methods. Depending on the location, the scope involved, meaning is it a very large colony? Where's the location? What type of termite is it? Because while subterraneans do typically nest lower, they can be found all throughout the house, from the base up to the attic, whereas vice versa, the drywood termites, you typically find them high but not so low. So depending on where we find them, the scope, meaning the level of the infestation or how infested it is, we do have a variety of treatment methods.